Today marks the 380th day share lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about conversations. Conversations. I think that when we realize that conversations are the thing that we have every single day. That if we have conversation every single day, that means we need to invest our time understanding what kind of conversations we're able to use to enhance our lives and what kind of conversations potentially could destroy our lives. Knowing that we do conversation every single day, the conversation that we have will lead to better tomorrow or could potentially lead to worse. So we can ask, okay, what kind of conversations do I have on a daily basis? Do I have conversations that uplift me? Or do I have conversations that is downgrade my life? As I said, that conversations we have every single day and our life is dictated on a daily basis. What do we do daily? And of course, today I will speak about seven things, seven conversations that could really potentially could allow us to really build clarity, ignite clarity, courage, and really transform our lives to the life that we really want. So, what are those conversations could potentially allow us to become better and really make sure that we are attracting better tomorrow? So, number one is, and before I go to those seven conversations, I really want to really there emphasize that we able to really work on goals daily, work on ourselves daily. But one thing that is, I think, is very, very unique is that sometimes we think about the most important things. The most important things are this and this. My values are this and this. My goals are this and this. My vision is this and this. So that means we know in a core what we truly want. But those important things are almost forgotten sometimes. We think about those most important things on a monthly basis, on a maybe in a yearly basis. When we think about New Year resolution, if we think about the most important things, and we create New Year resolution based on those most important things. But I think that the true life begins when we're able to see on a daily basis and really start having those conversations that really aligns with our vision, with our goals, with our aspirations, with the things that we want to do. I think that's where the true success lies when we include every single day in a conversation something that is important in the core to us, not just a short term pleasure. So, number one conversation we need to have is that what do I really want? Clarity, clarity. And I think that this is again, I think that this is an every single day conversation. So what do you truly want is potentially could be uh I think that is of course the majority of the time is just with yourself. Because conversation is a beautiful thing. Conversation is with other people. Conversation could be even with yourself. And probably you've heard that we having 80,000, 60,000 thoughts a day. And sometimes we have a conversation with ourselves because sometimes we need to speak with an intelligent person, and of course we need to have conversation with ourselves, and this is probably one of the best conversations with ourselves. So what do I really want? What do you actually want? And I think that seems a pretty simple question. What do I really want? But I think that there is much, much, much more, and that's why it's so important to really have that conversation daily, because there's so many different topics regarding what do I really want. What do I really want regarding values? What kind of do I really want regarding beliefs? What do I really want regarding my physical health? What do I really want regarding relationships? What do I really want regarding finances? So it means the same question, but we're able to use in different um, niche, different perspective. And that's why we need to ask that question every single day on different things. So what do I really want regarding this um, business? What do you really want regarding my lifestyle? So that means when we're able to really ask this question on a daily basis on a different topic on emotions, health, finances, we're able to develop that one thing that day. Because every single day we need to move forward. Because if we are not growing, of course we are detracting. Because we need to understand what is meaningful to us. More, not externally, but internally. That is the most important conversation. Second thing that we need to always have a conversation is what's holding me back? Inner resistance. Inner resistance. I think that we need to understand that in life, in business, most people understand there is bottlenecks. So that means that when if you want to scale a business, we understand that some part of the business is really holding everything back. And I think that in life we need to have conversation again with ourselves. And I think that what's holding you back again is be able to have with other people. And so what do you feel what's holding me back? And able to they potentially give you feedback and having ability to really what's holding me back. And I think that what do you really want and what's holding me back is very, very similar things because what do you really want and where I am and what's holding me back. So that means the conversation that we able to in the same perspective is that what do you really want in my lifestyle? Okay, so where I am right now. And what's holding me back potentially to achieving that? Because if I do not have that, yeah, that means that something is holding me back. Maybe I don't have enough. Maybe I don't have enough skill set. Maybe I don't have knowledge, and maybe I don't have perspective. Maybe I just don't take action. What's holding me back? And I think that conversation, understanding what's holding me back, and going after those limiting beliefs, and really to make sure that we able to improve our success by inner resistance. Number three is who I am becoming. And I think that self check in, I think that's very, very important. Again, this is what I mentioned earlier is that sometimes we think that, okay, I want to become that kind of person. But who am I becoming by the things that I'm doing daily? That's the true question that we need to ask. Because I think that's including myself that sometimes I pursue big things, but I get derailed by life circumstances, by adversity, by challenges. And I need to really reconnect with myself, really do that self awareness, self check in, and who I'm becoming with the things that I'm doing right now. And I have seen multiple times that I derail myself and I need to really say, okay, I am not moving where I love supposed to be moving. Okay, I need to really put myself in the best place to really I look into like shaping myself in habits, routines, patterns, process, systems to allow myself to move to the direction that I truly want. That's where success is. And having that who I'm becoming and asking that question on an almost daily basis, I think that is again very, very important question to ask again. And this is exactly the same question again. Who I'm becoming in relationships, who I'm becoming in roles different, who I'm becoming as a leader, who I'm becoming as a parent, who I'm becoming as a husband or a wife, who I'm becoming in a lot of different roles. I think that is again a beautiful way to look into because we are like very, very wide and we're able to really get internally deeper to understanding of ourselves and who we're becoming. I think that in life who am I who I am becoming is sometimes a much, much more important question than who I am right now. Because who I am right now is temporary. Who I'm becoming could be a long term thing, and then that's exactly what you pursue, and that's why I said that is much more important. Number four is the radical honesty conversation. And again, this is starts again more with someone else. Because I think that sometimes we need to have a conversation that we avoiding even that conversation having avoiding conversation to have with ourselves as well because sometimes we do not want to accept things we deny things until it hurts and maybe sometimes it hurts too much and we that's why don't think about the topic and we need to have that radical honesty conversation and when we're able to have this radical conversation at that moment we're able to really start doing something about it. I think that including myself sometimes we stuck in the same spot and people who know that is not good for you is like what the hell how long you can stay in this pain and I think that people stay in pain because they don't have the conversation radical honest conversation and sometimes I think that they don't have the radical honest conversation because they don't have the tools yet perspective yet how to solve that and sometimes having conversation with great mentors that they could bring new perspective, new solutions. I think that's where you're able to start accepting that you have a problem. It's time to change that. That's radical conversation. Number five is values alignment talk with yourself or with a friend. And this thing that is a beautiful thing that I think that majority of people who feel that they live life maybe even depressed, disappointed, negative, and I think that the majority of times is, I truly believe that is misalignment. So what I mean by that is that they say that they value something, they have some values, but when you look into how they live their life, you're not able to see that those values are somehow in their daily routine. That's why you need to really have conversations with yourself, so with a friend. Okay, so this is my values. Sometimes you're just understanding your values because sometimes our subconscious know our values, but consciously we're not aware of it. So our subconscious know our values, but our conscious doesn't. And when we really consciously choosing daily habits, we choose daily habits based on just random choices because we don't know how we make those choices. We just make those choices by default. But when we start to be aware consciously about our values that really we believe in, at that moment we consciously able to make decisions that really aligns with those values. And when you start making decisions that aligns with our values, when you start doing the habits, routines, process, and systems that aligns, we live in alignment. I think at that moment we're able to live a life full of fulfillment, full of meaning, full of purpose. And life changes because one thing that I found to myself is that when I was living out of alignment, even good days was not happy, not joyful, not blissful. But when you live in alignment, I learned that even the hardest days are blissful, joyful, and you fall asleep with with a smile on your face. That's why I truly believe that this is one of the most important conversations that every single person needs to have. Value alignment talk with yourself or with advisor, with a mentor, with a friend that you knows you, because this is very important. Are you living in alignment? And I think that everyone, of course, need different conversations with themselves that really could elevate their game, elevate their meaning, elevate their purpose. This is a conversation. It really helped me because I had belief, I had values that but when I looked into my resources, my energy, my time, and money, I allocate to total different things. So I need to realign myself just to make sure that I'm living life better. Number six is the mentorship and feedback conversation. And this isn't just external conversation. Really finding someone that you really truly admire, aspire to be in not because I love that when looking to the most successful people like John C. Maxwell, they said that they have 10 mentors in different areas: communication, leadership, networking. What the area they need to improve, they look into what are specific mentor who can really mentor them in that thing. So I think that when we think about question who I want to become and who I'm becoming, and ask, okay, if I want to become this kind of person, who is that kind of person? Who has the skills that I want to develop? I really go and ask feedback and have a conversation how to get there. Because I think that when we think about really learning, developing conversations that we need to have, we need to really learn from guides, not from travel agents. We need to learn from guides, not from travel agents. But I think that in the market, there's a lot of travel agents. I think that even myself, I probably have done some lessons on things that I not fully experienced. Maybe experienced, but not fully. But I think that we need to learn from people who have full experience. And I think sometimes beginner, because we know that when we go through life, we able to be at first step, 10 step, 100 step, 1,000 steps. And sometimes it's better to learn, if you are on the first step, maybe it's better to learn from someone who is a 10 step or 100 step. Not that you don't want to learn from 1,000 step because it is too big of a gap, too big of comparison gap. Sometimes it's being able to start small, learning from a 10 step, 100 step, and move to that 1,000 step. And I guess that's why when we think about if you are really serious about improving yourself, having a mentor, and that's step by step improving, that's a very, very important conversation to have. The last one that I have is vulnerability conversation with a friend, partner. And that means that being able to really be vulnerable and share what's going on, truly what's going on, good things, bad things. I think that's we need to learn to really express ourselves. Because I think that's what I learned in life, that when we have conversations, vulnerability conversations, but when you share wins, you're able to really expand it. When you share your negativity, the things that really didn't work out, and negative emotions, it's real divides. And that means that that's a beautiful thing because when you really share good things, expands. When you really share bad things, it divides. And that's why I think that it's so important to really be strong enough to share those things that is not working. I think that it makes people stronger because if you're able to share the things that you are struggling with, that means that you will become better leader because now you will be able to listen to other people sharing the things that they are struggling with. Because if you're not able to share your struggles, how are other people supposed to be able to share their struggles with you? So I think vulnerability conversation is one of the most important thing that people need to learn to have those conversations, especially for people who want to be leaders, who want to be business owners, who want to really inspire people. Because people, I love how John C. Maxwell says it, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And people who really care, they show their vulnerability as well. Because you need to connect before you're able to really share the things that you have known. So how do you reflect as well? What kind of conversation do you have on a daily basis? Because like you can, some people say speak about other people, some people speak about problems, and some people speak about ideas. People speak about solutions, speak about potentials, possibilities, imagine, visualize. So I think that we need to really move to that other side where we really look into a conversation that could always uplift us, not complain, but always uplift and always look into how can I. There's so many things that to be able to really discuss it, because this is a very massive topic. Because again, we're able to say like, can I do it, and how can I do it? There's a massive difference in what kind of answer you can get. Can I do it? Yes or no. How can I do it? Okay, we will look for solution how to make this work. If it is important enough, we'll find the way. So I hope you choose win, and see you tomorrow.